The general theme is how does it feel to be a hypocrite?
Right. Well, he sounds like a royal dirtbag.
I was wrong about something.
Magnificent! Magnificent! Magnificent!
If we can be with ourselves, if we can understand ourselves, we can love.
It's not my fault nobody can understand what you're saying.
Let's go while we're young.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, just introduce yourself and tell me what you ate for breakfast.
I don't know. Can anybody hear me? There we are. I'm back. All right. Glitching out this morning. I had to do a whole huge update. Apparently the 20th of the month seems to be the update, like capital of the streaming thing that I have here. But anyway, good morning. I'm back. Not feeling 100%, feeling much better. I called today the titled it the Island of Dr. Moreau, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. But first, thanks everyone for reaching out. I really greatly appreciate it. I think what I might need to do, because I am understanding my feeble humanity, is that maybe I should just kind of pre-record a couple of things that if I'm not feeling well, I can just let you know, hey, this is a pre-recorded thing, blah, blah, blah. But at any rate, I thank you for your understanding, and I thank you for your support. And most definitely, it's greatly appreciated. This was a doozy. I'm not going to lie. It knocked me out pretty good. And I'll tell you more at the end. So if you're grossed out easy, you don't have to sit through it. But anyway, it got me thinking. Well, one is I could barely look at my phone. I couldn't watch any TV or my iPad or computer or anything for about almost really about 48 hours after being sick. And so, you're just sort of laying there and in your thoughts. And I also had watched a show called Orphan Black, and it sort of was the same concept of the Island of Dr. Moreau. And the reason I was thinking of that is because I was so ill, I really didn't. You can really appreciate, I'll word it, when you do feel well, right? You really understand that, hey, when I'm feeling well, let's take advantage of it and all those things, because it's not a guarantee. It is definitely a blessing to have good health. It's definitely something that I think that we can all really work towards and strive at and things as well. I do try to eat okay. I don't eat great, but I try to eat okay. I do take a lot of different vitamins and different things like that too, so that I can stay as healthy as humanly possible. I'm pretty active, both physically and mentally, so I know that helps very much. And so just laying there and thinking about these things and about really understanding the opposite, right, of I've talked a lot about over the years too, and maybe some of you have heard it, joy versus happiness. And we can't really understand true joy unless we really understood really the opposite of joy. And I won't really go into it, but the Island of Dr. Moreau came up in my mind, because, while I had a ton of well wishes that I'm beyond grateful for, I really don't post much too about when I'm not feeling well or when something's going wrong. I really don't post much about that. I'll give you a really good example. And again, this isn't feel bad for me or anything, but I had pneumonia last fall. I was sick, really, really sick for quite a while last fall. Bedridden sick for quite some time last fall. And so and nobody really, other than those who are close to me, knew about it. And so it's just one of those things that I posted about it because there's an expectation of the morning show. And so I felt like it was necessary to kind of let you know what was going on. And so there we are. But of course, with every good well wish, there is, not the same amount, but certainly those who are saying, well, you didn't take the vaccine, did you? I'll just say that, you didn't take the vaccine and you didn't do this, and why don't you do this? And, just sort of kind of trying to knock you down, just so that they can somehow lift themselves up. And I don't understand the real weird rage in people the last, probably even up to 10 years, honestly, and how that's all really kind of started to change. Unfortunately, how there's so many more things divided. And I have thoughts on that. I'm not going to share right now on some of the reasons why, but we're just being put into all these different weird categories. And, I don't discuss what I do with my doctor publicly and things like that. So vaccines and whatever medicines. And, I mentioned I try to eat healthy. I didn't give you specifics. I try to take vitamins. I didn't give you specifics, but it's just part of the way that I choose to live, I guess, is that I keep that to myself, at least at this point. But it really weighed heavy on me. And because I wasn't able to absorb that social media, and I wasn't able to absorb any distractions or whatever, I was able to think about things. And then once I started to look at the messages that people sent, and once I started to look at some of the different things on social media and the rage and things that were out there, I'm just reminded of where do we keep our focus? I would probably still be in bed right now this morning if I kept my focus on being ill. I'm going to wrap up here soon. So, and I just kind of, I'm sort of laying the groundwork, honestly, for some coming thoughts. But I made myself a towel bed on the bathroom floor for about 12 hours. It was that bad. I was projectile vomiting. I made jokes about, I should film it or whatever, and then sell it to the movies, like The Exorcist. It was really bad. And that's where I was camped out, and it was rough. And if I would have left my focus there rather than focusing on, okay, what can I do? How much water can I consume? How much, 7-Up or whatever else along the way might help me recover. Focusing on that allowed me to actually get better, right? And I think quicker, understanding when I needed to rest, when I needed to move around to just, get things working, my lungs working good and my blood flowing and all that kind of stuff. And so I try to keep my focus on that on a day-to-day basis. But wow, when the rug gets pulled out from under you, I had no warning. I literally woke up like 11:30 at night, and I woke up and I was like, oh no. And I ran to the bathroom, to gross you out there a little bit. And it was just, and I just got sick. I was just vomiting uncontrollably. And that's the way life is, isn't it? We don't know when it's going to hit us. So we want to try to be prepared ahead of time. And so I try to keep my thoughts and my rage even at bay, but my thoughts at bay on negative things, and keep focused on positive things. And what can I do? Not that I'm successful at it, not that I am better at it than someone else, but that is where I try to keep my focus. And so as we move forward, and as I want to unpack this Island of Dr. Moreau thought process a little bit more on the morning show, and just help you understand some things that I've learned over the last few days and the last dozen years as I focus on some of these things even more intently. So I'll leave it there. I hope everyone's feeling well. I know it's going around like crazy. Again, thanks so much for all the well wishes. And I will be here, Lord willing, as my grandpa used to say, tomorrow morning at 6:30. We'll see you then.
You know what I just saw?
Who is this guy?
I call myself Podcast because of my podcast.
I have exorcised the demons. This house is clear.
So it's done.
It's done.